a drink, grab a snack, because we have a big one. This is like kind of one of the biggest videos of the year. It's the annual best makeup of 2024, where I take a look back at all of the makeup that I've tried through this last year and I tell you what the best products were. And I have to say, normally I'm pretty stressed about this. I'm picking and pulling and putting back products for a while, working on my list for a while. Honestly, it was pretty cut and dry today. Like, there were clear standouts this year. It's a long list, but it was very clear what my favorites were going to be. I've been talking about these all year throughout my channel, so there's gonna be zero surprises. And I know it was a good year because there's a number of products in here that I actually can't believe launched this year. They have become so ingrained in my everyday beauty routine that I feel like I've been using them for years, but it's unbelievable that these products just launched this year. So I am mostly focusing on products that I tried this year and that launched this year. And with me being like a new makeup channel, in terms of, talking about new stuff, that is the stuff that I'm using. So let's go ahead and get into it. The most lacking category is most definitely primers, because I only have one and it's not even an official primer. I've been using a lot of older primers this year. Ooh, I've gotten selective with it here, but this entered my collection around February. This is the MAC Hyper Real Serumizer. Now, this is a hydration serum, so it is technically a skincare product, which I'm not featuring any skincare products in today's video or tools. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but I've been loving this prior to makeup. My one tip though is make sure you give it time to soak into the skin and get that hydration, because sometimes products over top can pill if you're a little too fast, but the hydration on this is intense but very lightweight. This is the perfect prep to skin that is dry. It honestly just feels like such a refresher to me. I love applying this before makeup. This is my favorite primer that I discovered this year. Foundations was absolutely one of the most successful categories of 2024, kind of taking a step back and looking at what I have. I even had to put away a few foundations because I was like, I can't have this video be half foundation. So I'm definitely going to do a whole foundation roundup for you guys for every foundation that I've tried. But these are yummy. That's the only way I can put it. So the first one that I have is probably the newest one for me. This is the foundation stick from Dior. I use the shade 2N. Now, Dior is probably my all-time favorite foundation brand. They don't miss when it comes to foundations. I love a stick as well, and this one just blends into the skin like a second skin. It's very malleable without feeling like it's going to slip and slide all over the place, but it still has that easy blend, and the best way I can describe this is as it sits as a second skin. So, second skin in a stick, this. It also has buildable coverage, really customizable to what you want. The next one that I have, this is one of those where I actually cannot believe it launched this year because I've been using it so frequently, mentioning it in videos so frequently. This is from About Face. It's the Performer Skin Focused Foundation. This one also gives a very skin-like appearance. It actually is very similar, I would say, to the Dior. I have it on this side of my face. It feels lightweight. It gives about a medium coverage. It just looks really healthy. I love the applicator here of the doe foot as well. I just think it makes it very mess-free, very easy to get an even application. And this foundation is relatively affordable, especially for the formulation that's inside. If you want a great, everyday, middle-of-the-road, comfortable, medium coverage foundation, I think you would enjoy this. And then you already know, I talk about this all the time. It's the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Foundation. It's almost like a soft velvet over the skin. It does have a little bit of luminosity to it and not too much. And it's super duper soft. And it blurs the skin as well. I've talked about this so much on my channel that I don't want to go into greater detail. I mean, all of these products I've talked about so much on my channel, so many of them have dedicated reviews, so I'm kind of skimming over the greater details of these, but if you watch my channel, you already know. This is my favorite foundation, I would say, that launched in all of 2024, and it has made its way into absolutely my top 5 foundations. This is my favorite everyday foundation for that nice medium level of coverage. Now, if they want fuller coverage but still lightweight, this didn't launch this year. I didn't try this year, but I would say my love truly bloomed this year for the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. The best way that I can describe this is it gives pearl skin. Super smooth, but has that luminosity, but it's not like glittery or shimmery. It's very, very unique. I do not have another product like this, and it gives a ton of coverage. I would say up to full coverage, but it still manages to stay lightweight. It's interesting. They say this is a skin tint. Look at me deep in the eyes. This is not a skin tint. There is no tint to be found in sight, but it's one of the most beautiful, smoothest pearl finish foundations. Super unique. Now, maybe you're not looking for a pearl finish, but for some reason you're looking for a glass finish. My all-time favorite glassy foundation launched. I don't have a foundation that is this glassy that's not oily. So this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydro Glow. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It's kind of, you either love the finish or you hate it because it looks like glass. It's very, very glowy, borderline sweaty, but in a good way. I just think Makeup Forever took the challenge of getting glass skin and they got it. It's the best glass skin foundation that I've ever used. 3 concealers. Decent year. It wasn't a ton of concealer launches, but I feel like what came out was very, very good. So I have a new staple here with me. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. So this one gives medium to full coverage. It's not glowy, but it feels very flexible, as they say. It does mimic skin very well with a little bit more matteness to it because that does help provide the coverage and the wear. This is a very, very reliable foundation. It's definitely nestled itself into being an all-time favorite, most used concealer of mine. I don't know what Danessa put in here, but it's so good. Also, I don't have it with me, but Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer was also probably my most used concealer this year. Why didn't I grab for that? I think because I mentioned it in last year's as well, but she deserves some sort of recognition. Now this next one is the newest discovery for me, but it is like my new favorite for full coverage, full beat, matte, long wear. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro All Over Skin Perfecting Matte Concealer. I could eat this up right now. It is so good. I normally do not like matte concealers, okay? I don't like when they look drying under the eyes, but this doesn't look drying, but it also does not crease. This is the longest lasting concealer. I feel like it quite literally freezes in time when applied to the under eyes. I mean, I'm not using this for every day, but for more full beat days that I know I need my makeup to look good for such a long time, this is it. And then on the opposite end here, something that is hydrating, flexible, luminous. I fell in love with the MAC Studio Radiance Luminous Lift Concealer. Now this is luminous, and sometimes I don't really know how I feel about luminous because there's a difference between luminous and hydrating. Like the Yummy Skin is hydrating. This is luminous, and it of course is still hydrating at the same time. So it does give a little bit of a glow to the under eyes, but it just looks so healthy. It blends into the skin like butter. Such a good hydrating luminous concealer if that's what you're looking for. Now what absolutely exploded this year were cream cheek products, particularly blushes. There also was no shortage in the bronze / contour department either. So this first one I love because it's the perfect tone for a contour. This is the Dior contour and it came out with the foundation, and this almost has a powder dry down. It has a very easy blend into the skin as well, but my favorite part about this is the color. I have it as my nose contour and I just feel like it is such a natural color, and then with it being Dior, it just has that phenomenal quality where it blends into the skin. I know cream makeup and oily skin cannot mesh sometimes. This was not bad for oily skin. I mean, I would still set it with powder, but it doesn't have that really slippery, creamy, wet feel to it. Use that one a ton just because the tone is so perfect and I can rely on the formulation to blend in and work well into the skin. Another really great cream product. This includes both cream blush and bronzer, but I really got into the Dibs sticks this year. I don't love that you don't get to customize the cream contour and the cream blush shade. You get what you get and you don't get upset. but I found that I really haven't had any issue with that. Like sometimes I'll grab for one over the other, like one bronzer and then a blush specific shade, but generally speaking, I go for the blush, and then whatever bronzer I get is the bronzer that I'm working with. A really nice, easy to use formula. This one sticks a little bit, so it has some good longevity to it. I think the colors in this line are incredible. 2.5 has probably been my favorite in terms of the most flattering bronzer. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, and then the blush is this very trendy, bubbly pink shade. But I loved this enough to pick up even more shades because I think the formula is just like a good standard cream formula. And I do actually quite like the two colors in one, but I do worry about the inconvenience of the shades just not working, especially, you know, when it comes to cream blushes. Cream blush formulations are more versatile than bronzer shades, so that is something to keep in mind. Another great brand that I discovered in the cream department was Persona. Particularly their colors is what I really love. I'm showing you my favorites. I have the bronze multi-stick in Mojave. This is what I wore today. It's that perfect, again, not too cool, not too warm color. I've really leaned into lighter shades this year. I just find them to be more natural and flattering on me. I don't need to see my bronzer and blush from a mile away, so this has been the perfect tone for that. And then blush, they have other gorgeous blushes. I also love Georgia, but Bloom, just for that everyday pink, is what I've been enjoying. These are softer of a build-up, so you're not going to get a ton of pigment right away, but you can absolutely build it up. It's just been a really great wearable formula, and they're colors that I know that are going to look good. Now, this liquid blush is unreal. I feel like, you know, when it comes to makeup, there's only so many times that a formula can be different or innovative, which I'm okay with. I love a good standard formula. But these are ones that are very, very unique here from Cali Ray. They're the blurry blushes. If you have oily skin and you are looking for a liquid product that actually works on you and isn't going to slip and slide, you have found it. And don't fear if you have dry skin, because this is still great. This is going to be one of the longest lasting liquid blushes because these dry down to a matte, but like a powdery matte in a way that looks smooth and blurred over the skin as well. So if you have a lot of pores in this area, this is a really great option for you as well. And it might sound intimidating, that matte dry down, but you have plenty of time to blend it out, and it is that blur that makes this an extremely unique and long-lasting product. I really loved the cream and liquid blushes this year, so bear with me. 3 more. So this next one was a discovery like pretty much January 1st. This is the e.l.f. Liquid Camel Blushes. This launched like right in between January 1st and December, so I brought these to Spain with me. That's how I remember it. These are so good. I found myself at times reaching for this over the Rare Beauty. I think Rare Beauty is probably better quality, but I really liked the colors here. There were a few that I think did get patchy, but most didn't. I don't know, I really enjoyed the performance of these, and I think the price point is just a bonus. These, like I said, found myself reaching for over Rare Beauty. Oh, this is a blush stick. Kind of out of order, but that's okay. From Rhode. These are incredible. I hate the packaging. These are chubby for no reason. Thin these out, put them on a diet, Rhode. But as inconvenient as the packaging is, they are so lucky that these blushes are so good. These are a true cream formulation. They have a very easy blend out. Gorgeous colors. My 2 favorites, Freckle and then Piggy. I just love the level of pigmentation that these have, and my favorite part about these, something that is so rare for a cream blush. These look good on the cheeks and they look good on lips. Sometimes with cream blushes that claim they're made for the lips, they just look dry. They attach themselves to dry patches. They don't have an even, comfortable application on the lips. These do. Very smooth on the lips. They give even coverage. They adhere to the lips. They don't sit on top of the lips. They mesh into the lips like a true lip first product. Not a lot of cream blushes do that, so these do. I love them. They're very, very good. let's give Miss Hailey Bieber her flowers because her makeup brand is very, very good. Very limited, but I think she's doing it right. Not too many launches, limited launches if there are any, in terms of like, it's just one color, so that makes it a little bit more fun and exclusive. I just think they're doing a great job with the brand overall. I love the direction that they're going. And then the last liquid, actually it's not, don't listen to me. These are highlighters, but I've used them as blushes. I've talked about these a lot. The Dior Forever Glow Maximizer, and this duo right here for that gradient of a deeper color at the bottom, a lighter color at the top. I have the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers in rosy and pink. This color combination in particular has been my favorite. This gives a glowy, youthful cheek without emphasizing any ickies on the face. It's not too glowy even though these were formulated to be highlighters. Trust me, if you want a glowy cheek, this will give it to you. And they're not obnoxious in color because they are supposed to be highlights, so you don't look overly blushed if that's something that you're not going for. I've used those a lot. I don't want to talk about them too much, but like, I could probably do a whole 20-minute video talking about my love for them. Moving on, now this last cream product for the face, I swear, I've used this for a couple years, but this year was the one where it was my right-hand man right here at the side of my desk. I used it all the time from Makeup Forever. It's their HD Skin Palette. In particular, I've been using the face sculpting one a lot because I like to use this to correct my face. So if I have a concealer that's too dark, I'll brighten it up. If I need to brighten up down here, I'll brighten that up, and then vice versa. If I need to deepen anything, I will. There's also highlighters, which I don't really reach for, to be honest. It's mostly just like down here, you'll notice, are my favorites. I'll contour with this one. Just overall a really versatile palette. I don't really wear this alone. You can. It gets the job done. It's not like an ideal formulation for me, but it's just perfect after I've done my base to kind of go in and correct things to make my skin and my face look better. Highly, highly recommend. It is very, very pricey, but it's just been the tool to fix all. Now I have powder cheek products. First of all, the best powder bronzer that I tried this year is from YSL. It's the All Hours Hyper Bronze. I have the lightest shade. I've been using the shade above this as well. But what I like about this is because I've been so into the cream bronzers, sometimes I just need a little set, but I don't want a bronzer that's too pigmented that's going to catch onto the cream and be a really uneven dark splotch on the face. So this shade 100 has been perfect for that in particular. I'll just get a fluffy brush, and this is perfect for evening out that contour, for blurring it out and setting it. It's lightweight, it's not going to catch on and get splotchy, so I really like this. I know it's pricey, but you get what you pay for with that. And then powder blushes. Kosas launched their Blushes Life formulation. So this is a mineralized blush formulation, and I do apologize, I didn't get to swatch this on my face individually. It's layered, so it's hard to tell, but it's just a beautiful mineralized baked blush formulation. There's something about a youthful glow that this gives to the cheeks. It's not flat, but it's not really shimmery. It's just like when you turn your face, you have a little bit of life to it, and it's not emphasizing anything on the face as well. It's actually quite smoothing. So I love that this is not quite a satin, but it's not matte either. It's right there in between, and it gives that subtle sheen that's just delicious. I also discovered the NARS powder blushes this year. They actually reformulated their line. They repackaged the line, and not all of these blushes are created equal. I thought they were until I tried Orgasm recently. Don't buy that one. But at least Thrill and Deep Throat, these are awesome. They're kind of like a standard blush formulation, but there is a time and a place for just needing a color that's matte on the face, and it's not too drying for it being a matte. Like, I love the shade Thrill I used today to just kind of plop on a little bit of that bright pink. No notes for these blushes. They're solid blush formulation that's powder, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow my collection of these. I've used these a ton. And then, this goes without saying, literally, I know you want to take this brush and smack me with it because I can't stop talking about the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit on palettes. I only have the Dragon right now because the others are somewhere. being used because I'm using these all the time. Undupable, unmatchable, the best powder formulation on the market, gives you that hourglass filter. Like, this is all coming off the tongue without having to use my brain because I've said that so many times. This isn't going to be the video that I go on a rant, but they're my most used powder products ever. Okay, continuing. Setting powders. I guess this is like it's a powder foundation, but I put it with the powder here. Natasha Denona this year launched her High Glam powder foundation. I'm quite impressed with the quality of complexion that Natasha has come out this year. I thought, you know, she really could only do it with eyeshadows. But turns out, between her concealer and this, can't wait for a liquid foundation to come out in the High Glam line. That being said, I know my way around a good powder foundation. Natasha did it with this. It's super smooth, but it's thick enough to give you that coverage. Kind of settles into the skin to where you can't really tell it's a powder foundation. If you're a powder foundation lover and wearer, you will enjoy this one. It's very similar to the Makeup Forever. Now to set. I'm very picky with powders. It takes a really, really good one to kind of intrude in on my already favorites that I use. Setting powders is one of those categories where, even though I tell you guys, like, I do try new makeup constantly, one product that's hard to break into is setting powders. Like, I'm always using only my favorites. I don't settle. I just think a setting powder is so important. But Makeup by Mario launched a really, really beautiful powder that has intruded in on my powder club. This is the Surreal Soft Blur Setting Powder. It is quite heavy duty for setting. It means business. Your makeup's gonna literally freeze in time with this powder. It has more thickness, more body than like the Huda Beauty, the Givenchy that I typically reach for. And I like that because I know that this is just going to do the business that it came here to do. It's gonna get shit done. I definitely recommend this, like, for perspective, even though Huda Beauty is great for oily skin as well, I think this one is even better for oily skin. Now that is coming from somebody who has dry skin, but if I had to imagine it, I would say so. I do have one powder highlight, strange order that I put that in, but okay. My favorite highlighter that launched this year is from Fenty Beauty. It is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. I picked up the shade Prosecco. There's a lighter one as well that I like. If you want something more natural, use a more soft brush. If you want, like, literally to blind somebody, use a dense brush. This is super smooth on the skin. I saw it was limited edition, which, Fenty, that is criminal. Truly criminal. I will arrest you if you really decide to get rid of this formulation, but you might, because I feel like not enough people are loving this like I am. This almost feels like a cream into the skin here. Oh, it's so buttery soft. Gorgeous highlighter, not a fleck, a speck, a minuscule glitter in sight with that, but just pure glow. And the last product that I have for complexion is a setting spray for my dry skin friends. You're gonna love this one. This is by M Cosmetics. It's called the Divine Water Perfecting Mist, and she is nothing short of divine. The spray really gets you wet, okay? It really soaks the face, which I like. If your makeup is looking heavy or dry, this is gonna go in and instantly give your face life, revitalize your whole look. This has been one of my favorite, well, I guess it's been my favorite setting spray considering it's the only one of the year. Instant results with this one. Complete lifesaver, reviver in a bottle right here. Okay, moving into the eyes. Let's start off with eyebrows. I only have one product. As far as eyebrow pencils, I was using anything under the sun, just grabbing any brow pencil I had within reach of me, so no one in particular. But eyebrow gels. Pretty sure this was in last year's favorites. Ever since I've tried it, it's been an absolute game changer for me, so it would be pretty inauthentic for me not to mention the Rephr Beauty Brow Gel. These gives my brows such a thick look. It's just the way that the spoolie separates the hairs and how much of a hold that this has without feeling crunchy or dry or too hard. It feels lightweight. It feels, trying to describe the consistency of it, it's kind of like a thick gel, but it's not hard, not a hard gel. A little bit of creaminess in there, but it has a super duper strong hold. Wherever I tell my brows to go with this, those brow hairs they go there and they last all day, and the thickness of the consistency gives my brows this thickness. I love it. I'm not having the best brow day today. I used a bad brow pencil. Anyways. Now, I don't have any eyeshadow palettes in this video because I am going to do a whole separate roundup of eyeshadow palettes for the year. I have a couple things that I liked to use on my eyelids, like the Laura Mercier eyeshadow sticks. Nothing new here. These have been around for years and years and years, and I've talked about these for years, but this was the year that these really had their moment. These are easier than applying powder eyeshadows, and you'd be surprised. Like, Laura Mercier has matte finishes of these. If you just draw it into the crease and then take a brush, it'll blend out like a powder almost, but it still is a cream. They last a long time. They're super creamy to apply, 100% mess free, and Laura Mercier does have a great range of colors. I have way more than just this. I just kind of grabbed a handful as I went today. I used the shade Cocoa for an outer corner color. Sometimes I literally use it as eyeliner. These don't crease. They have such a thin layer on the eyes. The best eyeshadow pencils ever. They're super easy and quick and great to travel with or just throw in your bag. Also, a single pot shadow that I loved. These are the Zari eyeshadows from Kulfi Beauty. These are like a jelly consistency, but they dry down like a powder. These work so well because they're so thin, so they don't crease on my eyelids. Today I'm using Stardust from their limited edition holiday set, which is more of like a wearable champagne. They have a couple different textures, lots of fun colors. Another one that I really liked was Sitara Sparkles, but definitely look at their line. They have a ton, but it's so fun because it's a jelly consistency, but they actually function really great. They last on the eyelids. They aren't heavy. They don't get crunchy on the eyelids. Love those. They've been my favorite single pot eyeshadow for the year. Eyeliner, I fell out of love with liquid liners. I don't think they're as trendy anymore anyways. And I've either been using eyeshadow or 2016 me would like literally threw up if she knew that I was using eyeliner pencils. I used to never love a smudgy liner. Now I only wear a smudgy liner, it feels like. And these Lancome Lace Stylo waterproof eyeliners, the best pencil liners I've ever used, and I discovered this by chance this year. They're relatively easy to apply. I wouldn't say they have like the smoothest run over the eyelid, but I actually like to use a pencil brush to kind of guide and work them out, and it just leaves such a pretty soft look to the eyeliner, but still like I'm wearing my wing that I always wear. And what impressed me most about these, they do not budge. I put this on my tight line, and it's like one of the only pencils that doesn't transfer to the waterline. I don't know if you can tell. It's been on my tight line for an hour, and I have no transfer on the waterline at all. That's how good these set down. And if you did put them in the waterline, they're lasting all day. I don't know why, but when I was younger, I was obsessed with finding eyeliners that lasted in the waterline. And I wish I had known about these, because these would have lasted even better than Urban Decay. I also am thinking, like, I have so many tricks up my sleeve now to make eyeliner last in my waterline. I could never figure it out in school. The best mascara that I've tried, I've been really sticking to my tried and trues when it comes to mascaras, but Hailey's Beauty Reveal Lash Lengthening Mascara has been my favorite. Now, they sent this to me originally, and they said, we think you're really gonna like this. This works for our Asian lashes. And my ears perked up because I got Asian lashes too, which are very straight, more on the thin and short side. And these, like, were made for Asian lashes. I don't know what else to say. They separate the lash, they give them length. The applicator, the wand, is so skinny for my non-existent lower lashes. Now, it doesn't do wonders for my lower lashes, but these are hopeless at this point. They've shrunken this year, unfortunately. And the best thing about this is it holds a curl, which has been my favorite makeup trick that everybody's known for life, but whatever. I bought the Shiseido lash curler, which, side note, is the best lash curler ever. And this is what makes eyelashes visible. The trick is, it's nothing new, but it's something that I started doing this year, and it was a game changer. After your mascara has fully dried, it has to be fully dried, give it a little pump here. Shiseido's the best because it really allows you to get to the base and the root of that lash. And then it fakes really long, thick lashes because you're literally using the entire length and sticking it straight up. And that's a trick, and that is why I also love the Hailey's Beauty Mascara, because it holds the lift that I give my lashes. And I am not afraid to use a false lash, okay? I am not. But so many times I have actually not needed a false lash because I felt like I was happy with what this lash curler has done to my lashes. Now, there was a lot of other eye products that I liked, but I would say these were the ones that I used most consistently. I also used the Hourglass tubing mascara a lot. I really enjoyed Lancome mascaras this year. But that Hailey's Beauty is the true standout. So we're already moving over into the lips category. I loved an everyday pinky lip, I would say. I'm looking at what I wore. It's a pink lip, just like this. I tried to do bold lips, and I wore a lot of bold lips this year. But what I fell in love with, what I was reaching for mindlessly, was a pink lip. So my lip liner of the year, Pillow Talk Fair from Charlotte Tilbury, and also Pillow Talk Medium 2. I didn't grab that. That was dumb of me. I'm wearing Pillow Talk Fair, but Pillow Talk Medium 2 is like my lip color, but a little bit deeper. Those were my two favorites for my everyday pink lip that I was wearing. Pink Fair, Pillow Talk Fair has a little bit more purple to it, so it's a little bit of a different vibe. And Charlotte Tilbury lip liners have been my favorite lip liner formula for forever because they're creamy, but they set down. They last a long time, and they have a great range of colors. But those were my two everyday lip colors. And I used a lot of lip liners this year. I stayed mostly to the classics, but I would say Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair was the most used new one. You guys know I also really like the Makeup Forever Artist color Forever, but Charlotte Tilbury is still better than those. Lip products. So from the drugstore here, I love these for my everyday lip color from Hard Candy. They're like the Plumping Lip Melts, I believe is the official name of them. I don't know, they're not on the packaging, but these are like one of those melty gloss balm sticks, but it's not too wet. It gives the prettiest, most perfect glow to the lips, and then also the most perfect amount of color. So it's not completely clear. These I loved keeping in my purse. I've been pretty picky about this style of products. I don't really like the whole gloss in a stick vibe, but I have another one, so maybe I'm lying to myself. I have another one in this video. We'll talk about the more expensive counterpart that I have here, but these are really good and cheap. So I love them. And then Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, as you know, have been my favorite lipstick formula for years. So some color shout outs because my favorite lipstick did not change. Pillow Talk Fair. Just talked about the lip liner. It's what I'm wearing on my lips today. It's like a purpley pink. I love it. This color is what I wished the original Pillow Talk was. And I still like Pillow Talk, don't get me wrong, but if you felt like the original Pillow Talk is a little bit too warm or orange on you, definitely give Pillow Talk Fair a try. It has a lot more purple in there. And then earlier in the year, Charlotte Tilbury launched this Icon Lip Collection, and the ones in the pink packaging have become like my everyday pinks. So we have Rose to Fame, which is a little bit more mauve-y. And all of these are the kissing formulations, so they have a shine to them, which is my favorite. Candy Chic is one of the most unique pinks. It has a little bit of like purple to it, almost lavender in a way. 90s Pink, also like a pretty mauve-y pink. And then the one that I also really love, Red Carpet Pink. Again, I feel like pinks are hard to be unique at this point, but Charlotte Tilbury with this line of the pink packaging, I feel like the colors were also very, very unique. So if I wanted a pink lip, I think the packaging also helped me reach for these more because I knew if I grabbed from her line that was pink, I would have the perfect pink color without having to go searching. And I talked about that Hard Candy formula being one of my favorite lip gloss in a stick formulas, which I don't typically love. But I do love the YSL ones too. They're so expensive. But these are the Candy Glaze specifically. So these are like the tiniest bit more goopy once they're warmed up. So these aren't as goopy as like the MAC, but once they feel the warmth of your body temperature, they'll get goopy, but not in a bad way. It's stiffer. It's stiffer than the ones that I don't like, and I really like the colors that they have. And these, even comparing them to the hard candy, they're even smoother on the lips. They really fill in the lines on the lips, so it's just solid, which makes your lips look really full. And these have a good grip on the lips, so they last quite a long time. So this video is all about what was I grabbing for when I wasn't thinking too hard about my makeup. What was I grabbing for because I knew it would look good and it would wear good? These I was losing all the time because they were constantly in my purse. And then when I would lose one and feel guilty, then I would use the hard candy because it's cheaper. Okay, lastly, glosses. As you can tell, I was really into glowy, glossy, glassy lips this year. My kind of go-to here was just a lip liner with a gloss or a lip oil of sorts. So one of those being the Rhode Peptide Lip Tints. Now, don't get me wrong. Still heavily in loved, used, and abused my Summer Fridays lip butter balms. But I did get into the colors of the Rhode. I think Rhode has better colors. I also like the slim applicator for my little slim lips. Now these still are quite sheer, almost clear, like not really worth swatching, but Salty Tan and Toast are kind of within that color range that I'm very comfortable with, so I tend to grab for these. Very hydrating, very glossy, very glassy, very smooth over the lips, and most importantly, I've already mentioned this, but very hydrating. It's winter. My lips need these. I just think that they're phenomenal quality. They're right up there with Summer Fridays for sure. Another product that I love to go to, I think that this is even more glossy and glowy, and it still is very hydrating. And probably the biggest reason of all, I just love the scent of these. This is from Fenty Skin, and it's the conditioning lip oil. So it is like from the skin line, like skincare, but I use it as a gloss. I particularly love Cherry Treat, but you should look into their other flavors. What else do they have? I have like 5 of the Cherry Treats because I throw them everywhere. Black cherry, they have like a melon one, melon treat. Oh, these like make my mouth water. They smell like candy. And I love the big fat applicator. The packaging is kind of cheap, but these give like super glassy, glowy look and are very hydrating. The one negative, like one single negative, not the longest lasting, but I don't care because it smells so good. Like I keep wanting to put it on my lips. So, love those. I didn't think I would like this because you guys warned me it was thin, and I do not like a thin lip oil. But there's something about the glow of the Gisou honey-infused lip oils, and I think it's about the whole package for me. I will admit, I am a package lover. I am influenced by what is popular, what is trending, and the packaging. And Gisou had all of those. And it's not a bad formula. It is thinner, but I don't mind in this case. In particular, I'm just mixing it up because the formula will separate. The pink glittery one, what is the name? It smells so good. Watermelon Sugar. I like this one because the glimmers stay on the lips, so the lips look extra reflective. So it's really this shade in particular that I love. I can't help it. I'm going to put it on my lips. Oh! It's like a glaze over the lips. I love it so much. Like, does it beat my all-time favorite Clarins lip oils? No, but I love the glitter in this. I think it's so pretty on the lips. And it's not like chunky, thick, gritty glitter. It's just like a little bit of extra sheen, and you don't know what it's from, but it's from those fine glitters. And then the very last product that I have is a lip gloss, and I always talk about these as well any chance I can get, so I won't be too annoying here. It's the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plump. I'm going delirious. Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. So this one is the most lip filling, line smoothing glosses that I own. It is thick, but in a good way. It's not sticky. And they've really expanded the color range over this year as well. Super comfortable, also very hydrating. Less so than the actual lip conditioners that I mentioned prior. It's more of a gloss, but it's like a super thick, not sticky gloss that really smooths and plumps the lips. reached for these all years. These are like the best to pair with a lip liner for the juiciest lips that are still super wearable, everyday friendly. Ooh, I did it, you guys. Those were my favorite products for 2024, and I beg of you, because I am sure I've forgotten some things. Shut up. Zip it. I don't want to hear it. Well, okay, you can comment it down below if you think I missed out on anything, but like, I had to start cutting this list down and I was not ready to look for something to add more to put me in a more difficult position, okay? But I can tell you this year was one of the easiest years to create this roundup here because I really used all of these products like a ton. And I talked about them on my channel a ton. So I will have all of them linked down below. I cannot believe I am already doing my year-end favorites, but all of these and some of my favorite colors, if applicable, I will put down in the description box for you, as well as tag them in the YouTube tagging. So however you best like to check these products out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this, I don't know if I'll do a December favorites. So this might be the last of the yearly, monthly, whatever favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. My task for you, I'm going to make it easy. I was going to make it hard. Give me 3 products that were your favorites that you discovered this year. I was going to make you only do 1, but if you have to pick 3, I'll give you up to 3. But if you want to give me your 1, go ahead. I'd love to hear it. What was your favorite product that you tried this year? I think my number 1, probably this guy. But I'm not going to think too hard about it, because then I'll get stressed out. Anyways, bye guys. I'll see you in the next one.
It's delicious.